Imagine this, dusk cloaks a hospital hallway in cold fluorescence, shadows clawing at the walls. A black nurse, Lena Harper, 36, eyes fierce with unspoken wars, slides her badge into her pocket. No goodbyes. Colleagues vanish like ghosts. The elevator seals her fate with a hiss. 3 hours. That's all it takes for the tide to turn. Those doors slide open again, not to exile, but to thunder. 4 stars blaze on a general's shoulders. He storms the lobby, voice slicing the silence, Nurse Lena Harper. Now. One woman's mercy. A veteran's forgotten fight. A system that crushes both. What if defying the rules summoned a reckoning that could shatter it all? If that fire in your gut ever roared louder than fear, comment below, what's the boldest stand you've taken? Smash like if you're ready for chills, and buckle up, this heroism hits hard. Her name was Lena Harper, a 36-year-old black nurse who'd poured her soul into the veins of Mercy Heights Hospital for over a decade. Born in the humid embrace of Atlanta's outskirts, Lena had grown up watching her grandmother stitch wounds with nothing but thread and prayer after church suppers turned into makeshift clinics for the neighborhood. Medicine wasn't just a career for Lena, it was inheritance. A calling etched into her bones from stories of ancestors who doctored in secret during times when healing came with a risk of chains. At Mercy Heights, she was the steady hand in chaos. The one who called every patient sir or ma'am, whether they rolled in on silk sheets or cardboard mats. Her dark curls were always pulled back tight, her smile a beacon that cut through the fog of pain. Colleagues whispered she had that old-school grace, the kind that remembered names from one shift to the next. But beneath it all, Lena carried the quiet scars of a system that saw her competence but questioned her place, subtle glances in meetings, policies that seemed to tighten just when her ideas shone brightest. It was a sweltering Wednesday in late summer when the air in the ER lobby thickened with unspoken tension. The clock ticked past 2 p.m., fans whirring lazily against the heat pressing in from outside. That's when he appeared, a shadow limping through the automatic doors. Tall once, but bent now by years and wear. His skin etched like weathered oak, clothes hanging loose on a frame that spoke of missed meals. A faded ID swung from his neck, Marcus Hale. And dangling from his belt loop, a dog tag glinting under the lights, U.S. Marines, etched with ghosts of Fallujah and forgotten foxholes. Marcus collapsed into the nearest chair, his right leg a battlefield of its own. Jeans ripped at the seam, a jagged wound snaking up his calf like a river of fire. Pus seeped through the makeshift bandage, a dirty rag tied with shoelace. Infection had set in deep, the kind that whispered promises of fever dreams if left unchecked. He clutched a crumpled VA referral slip, but the ink had run, details blurred like his vision. The receptionist, a harried woman with a headset wedged in her ear, barely looked up. Insurance card? Her voice was a reflex, flat as the form she slid across the counter. Marcus fumbled in his pockets, pulling out lint and a single quarter. It's in process, ma'am. I served. System first, she cut in, eyes flicking to her screen. No coverage, no bed. Lena was restocking sutures nearby, her back to the desk, but those words hit her like a slap. She froze, the chill of injustice crawling up her spine. How many times had she seen this? Brothers and sisters in arms, reduced to paperwork pawns. Her own uncle, a Vietnam vet, had withered away in a corner of their family home because the system deemed him unworthy of a slot. Not today. Not on her watch. She turned, her voice low but laced with steel. That wound's septic. He's burning up. We treat now, or we bury later. The charge nurse, clipboard in hand, shot her a warning glance. Lena, protocol. Chart him out. We can't. Can't what? Let a hero bleed out in the waiting room? Lena's eyes locked on Marcus, seeing not the man before her, but the boy who'd enlisted at 18, trading textbooks for trenches. She didn't wait for permission. In channels like this one, we don't glorify the fight, we live it through whispers of what could be. What if one choice could unravel everything you'd built? Lena grabbed the emergency kit, her heart pounding a rhythm of rebellion. She guided Marcus to a quiet alcove, away from prying eyes and buzzing intercoms. No fanfare, just the soft click of a curtain rod sliding into place. "Sit easy, sir," she murmured, her gloved hand steady as she peeled back the rag. The gash was worse up close, raw edges inflamed, the metallic tang of infection thick in the air. Marcus winced, but his jaw set like granite. "Ma'am, I ain't lookin' for charity. Just, patch me enough to make it to the VA tomorrow." Lena met his gaze, her brown eyes reflecting the flicker of fluorescent light. "You crossed oceans for strangers. This country's in your debt. Let me square a little of it." She worked methodically, irrigation first, the cool saline mercy against the heat. Then antibiotics from the kit, administered with the precision of someone who'd memorized veins like maps. She wrapped it tight, added a protein bar from her own snack stash, and slipped him a bottle of water. "You're not leaving here broken." Marcus's voice cracked, rough as sandpaper. "Last time I heard words like that, was '82, boot camp. Thank you don't cover it." "You earned more than thanks, Marine." Lena squeezed his shoulder, feeling the knot of muscle beneath. "Rest here 10. I'll check the hull." But as he nodded, gratitude pooling in eyes that had stared down worse than sepsis, doubt gnawed at her. Protocol wasn't just ink on paper, it was the shield that kept the hospital's coffers full, lawsuits at bay. And for a black woman navigating these halls, it was a tightrope over a pit of scrutiny. Had she just stepped off? The next dawn broke gray and unrelenting. Lena's pager buzzed her into the admin suite, a glass-walled fortress where suits held court. Director Ellis, a man whose tie cost more than her weekly groceries, steepled his fingers. "Unauthorized treatment. Off-books meds. You know the drill, Harper." She stood ramrod straight, her uniform suddenly feeling like armor too thin. "He was a veteran, sir. Served 2 tours in the Gulf. That wound could have taken his leg. Rules exist for reasons. Liability. Audits." Ellis's tone was ice, but his eyes darted, guilt? Or just the discomfort of facing fire? "Suspension. Effective immediately. Hand over the badge. No debate. No appeal. Just the cold snap of plastic leaving her pocket." Lena walked the corridor back to her locker, each step echoing louder, the air turning to lead. Colleagues' averted eyes, murmurs trailing like smoke. 10 years, nights without sleep, holidays traded for shifts, commendations stacked like forgotten trophies, all vaporized in a single breath. Outside, the parking lot baked under a merciless sun. She slid into her old Civic, the engine coughing to life like a reluctant confession. "I'd do it again," she whispered to the dashboard, Marcus's "thank you" replaying in her mind like a lifeline. But as tires met asphalt, doubt crept in. What now? A resume stained by insubordination. Bills piling like unanswered prayers. Home was a modest rancher on the edge of town, where azaleas bloomed defiant against cracked sidewalks. Lena sank into her kitchen chair, textbooks fanned out like fallen soldiers. Pages on ethics blurred through unshed tears. When did "do no harm" start meaning "follow the form"? She brewed chamomile, watched it steep to bitterness. By nightfall, the dam cracked, texts from allies, "heard what happened. You did right." Silence from others, heavier than scorn. Then, the spark. A coworker leaked it online, nurse booted for saving a vet's life. 2025 bureaucracy at its finest. The post ignited. Comments cascaded, "My pops came back from Nam with nothing but nightmares, bless her soul. Fire the suits, not the saviors. If this is America, count me out." Hashtags bloomed, hashtag justice for Lena, hashtag vets first. Strangers shared scars, brothers lost to red tape, sisters denied care. But Mercy Heights? Stone silence. No press release. No olive branch. Lena scrolled from her porch swing, phone vibrating like a hive. One message pierced the noise. He reached out. Told me everything. Hold tight, I'm en route. Unsigned. Untraceable. Who? Inside the hospital, Director Ellis paced his office, blinds drawn against the gathering storm. We protect the structure, he barked into a board call. Emotion clouds judgment. But cracks showed, nurses dragging feet on charts, a flag pin winking defiantly on a scrub top. Whispers in break rooms, she's one of us. What if it was your kin? Ellis pulled Lena's file, pristine as fresh snow, flawless evals, sky-high patient scores, 0 flags. His phone shattered the quiet, the board chair, voice edged with panic. Socials exploding, Tom. Vets rallying. A senator's office rang. Fix it, or we all sink. Sleep evaded him, dawn finding him hunched over a draft, review underway. It landed like ash, promising nothing, soothing no one. Mid-morning, his aide burst in, face ashen. Sir, black Escalade out front. Plates scream official. Flags on the hood. They're asking for Harper. And you? Ellis peered out. The vehicle idled like a predator, driver statue still in dress blues. His throat tightened. Who unleashes the military on a policy glitch? The elevator chime sealed it, fate arriving, uninvited. The lobby froze as General Elias Grant emerged, uniform a tapestry of valor, ribbons for deserts crossed, lives pulled from fire. 4 stars gleamed like accusations. Security stammered, Sir. How can we? Point me to Nurse Lena Harper. His voice was gravel wrapped in command, no room for detours. Word ricocheted, phones whipped out, staff clustering like witnesses to a verdict. Ellis descended, tie askew, sweat beating despite the AC, General, this, unexpected. What's the nature? Grant's eyes, steel gray, fixed on him. Official. On the record. He didn't elaborate. Didn't need to. The air hummed with the unsaid, what debt demands a 4-star intervention? By afternoon, Lena's saga breached headlines, hero nurse versus hospital heartlessness. Vet orgs jammed lines, you denied a brother. Explain. Receptionists fumbled scripts, voices quavering. Lena's neighbor, Mrs. Eldridge, a silver-haired widow whose husband had stormed Normandy, rapped on her door with cornbread still warm. My man came home hollowed out. Folks like you. You're the glue, child. Don't let M break you. Her inbox overflowed, interview pings, clinic offers, we need your fire. But Lena paced her living room, envelope from the mystery texter clutched tight. Inside. A single line, duty calls back what it owes. Back at Mercy, the rebellion simmered. Shifts lagged, a scrawled note in the lounge, Mercy without heart ain't mercy. Ellis convened crisis huddle. This is procedure. Not a crusade. A bold RN fired back, procedure from what, humanity. His mug vanished by lunch, a petty ghost in the machine. That evening, as shadows lengthened, the Escalade purred away. But Grant? He lingered, a sentinel in the storm. Ellis cornered him in the hall. General, privately. No. Grant's reply boomed soft, lobby-wide. Truth thrives in the open. The pivot came at twilight. Grant claimed the lobby's center, staff orbiting like planets to a sun. I'm General Elias Grant. And the man your nurse saved? Marcus Hale. He dragged me from a hail of RPGs in '03. Owed me nothing, but paid forward anyway. Murmurs swelled. Ellis paled. General, we followed. Followed what? Forms over flesh. Grant's tone sharpened, a blade unsheathed. Marcus didn't flash insurance when he patched me under fire. No charts. Just grit. He evoked the blast, dust-choked chaos, hail charging bear, hauling him to safety. That's the man you eyed like trash. He withdrew a dossier, sealed and somber. This heads to the VA secretary tonight. Oversight on vet care. It's coming. Then, a slim folder for Lena. And this? Her due. Ellis shifted, collar choking. Irregular, sir. So's scorning salvation. Grant pivoted to a wide-eyed tech. Where's she at? Out front, General. Bench by the curb. No hesitation. Grant marched through ER bays, doors hissing open tonight. Lena looked up from her vigil, exhaustion etching her face. Boots halted inches away. He saluted, crisp, profound. Nurse Harper. Permission to honor what you did. She rose, pulse thundering. I'm no soldier, sir. Doesn't matter. You saluted duty louder than most. The folder passed hands, summit invite, VA post as vet advocate. Cameras flashed from shadows, but Lena's stare pierced the entrance. Will it stick? The change? Only if warriors like you storm back. Time suspended, staff peering through blinds, breaths collective, held. Inside, Ellis hovered by triage, medals mocking his memo. This transcended rules. It was reckoning, system versus soul. Grant wheeled to the throng. Marcus Hale, 3 deployments, scars that map hell. He endured 5 days of fever before crawling here, not weakness, training. To bear, not burden. Lena's fingers traced the folder. Why me? Why now? Grant's facade cracked, human. Because silence lets shadows win. Good souls crushed for gold stars. Ends today. Ellis advanced, voice fracturing. General, a word aside. Speak here. Let light in. The mission plaque loomed, care with courage. It branded him. Nurse Harper, Ellis projected, words tumbling across pavement. Suspension lifted. Effective now. Sporadic claps rippled, tentative, then fervent. But Grant cut through. Undo's cheap. Own the wrong. Ellis faltered. What then? Confess, fault's not hers. It's ours, a machine that devours its makers. Crowd swelled, patients, passers-by, drawn by the electric hush. Then, a figure parted them, Marcus Hale. Stride sure, wound a memory. Silent beside Lena, presence thunderous. Ellis scanned them, stars, stripes, scrubs. 20 years of boardroom barricades crumbled. I apologize. To you both. To him. I forgot the why behind the what. Lena rose, dust shaking from denim. And tomorrow? Grant's grin flashed rare. That's the envelope's promise. Weeks blurred to legacy. Mercy etched a plaque by ER ingress, for those who heal hearts before hurdles. Lena shunned spotlights, reclaiming her shift, not as subordinate, but sentinel, inaugural vet response coordinator, badge dual-stamped Mercy and VA. Marcus materialized Thursdays, thermos in tow, tiny marine emblem perched on reception. A rookie RN once murmured, her. The legend? Marcus, gaze steady on forms, legends breathe. She's the pulse. Triage now bore banner, seen. Supported. Saluted. Echoes rippled, peer hospitals auditing oaths, a assemblyman tabling the Lena Harper directive, crisis care sans barriers for warriors. Quarter-year post-grant, Lena patrolled corridors, purpose palpable. Her badge gleamed twin loyalties. Ellis. Shifted to ops, policies poison purged. Network-wide. 6 sites synced vet safeguards. Her nook, X-storage, boasted vista, influx of seekers, vets venting, novices querying, physicians deferring. Grant's vow held, that dossier. Catalyst, not close. Lena traced it, resolve forged in rain-slick Tuesdays. For months to the day Marcus limped in, a parcel awaited, framed badge, note scrawled fierce. Some chains beg shattering. Grateful you swung first. Anonymous, but ink sang Ellis. Afternoon haze, a greenhorn halted her. Room 9, airman. Uninsured. VA's a trek. He's fading, transfer or. Lena's warmth cut cool doubt. Gut check, what screams true? Treat. Hold the line. You got it mapped. As she pivoted, his hail, trouble bruise. She wheeled, assurance echoing halls. Then I dial the general. In a world that often rewards the rigid over the righteous, stories like Lena's remind us, one voice, tuned to justice, can topple towers. Quiet courage. It's the spark that forges legends. If this tale stirred your soul, left you raging at the rules, cheering the redemption, smash that like button. It fuels more fire. Comment, respect, for heroes in scrubs, and where this hit you hardest. Subscribe to HeroHush Stories, no bells, just beats of bravery that stick. Share with a fighter who needs it. Your next dose of defiance drops soon, because true honor. It whispers loudest in the dark. Fade out.